Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are new to my channel, you may consider to like and subscribe to my channel so as you may get some new information from my design journey as a graphic designer. On today's video, I'm going to show you how to create a red card within 40 minutes, okay? Within 40 minutes of creating a red card if you are a designer, okay? So stay tuned. Okay, let's get started. We want to create a red card. You know that red card, if you're a graphic designer or any service, or if you're a service provider, then you must get yourself to have at least a red card. Okay, so let's start. When you want to create your red card, what you'll do, you will come here. You'll come to create new. As you can see, the create new, the part I have over. As you can see, the part that I have been able to over create new. Then after that, you can see this is the part. Then you come here at, you highlight the entitled to or any entitled. That is why you include your heading. You'll say my red card. Then the pixel you will change. Me, I like to use 1115 pixel. 1115 pixel by 1360 pixel. Let me include 1360 pixel. This is my, I like to use these dimensions. Then I will leave it at that type of orientation, that is portrait. Then the bleed at, I leave it at 1, at bot 1. Then my color mode, I leave it at RGB since I'm using it for social media use or for online use. Then the raster effects, I can say 300 ppi, then create. Okay, I've been able to get something like this. As you can see, this is the same, this is the document details. So what we'll do next, when you want to create, when you want to create yourself a red card, then this is what you have been able to acquire. So what you'll be able to do next, you'll get yourself to master the tools. And what we'll do, we want to make sure that there's some background color, or let me try to add another background color. Let me get a background color. So when you want to add a background color in Adobe Illustrator, the process is simple. You have to get yourself a rectangle tool. As you can see, you right click the rectangle tool, you right click. I've been able to right click. Then you right click. After you right click, rectangle tool, you have used your rectangle tool. You come at this point, you fill this part. As you can see, what I have been able to fill. As you can see, my background color is white, but at this point I don't want my background color to be white. So what I will do, I will pick a color. And what I will do, I'll come here. If you want to change the background color, what you usually do, a minute, yes, you come at this part. You see this part, then you highlight the part that you feel like you want your design to be, any. Then if you are satisfied, you press OK. As you can see, it has already changed. Okay, but me, I really like the first one. Let me proceed with that one. So what you will do next, since you have get yourself into data point, you minimize so that it fits with your layout. You minimize it in such a manner. Allow me to minimize this. You take your mouse, you right click, you right click, yes, you right click, evo. Then we are good to go. Then we have been able to get ourselves a good presentation when it comes to us creating a red card. At this point, we have been able to create the background of our red card. So what we'll do at this point, we want to be a bit more creative, and want to create something that it really impresses a client when it comes to this part. We want something that it is really impactful and it influence. Okay, so what we'll do, you'll come and take your text tool. You see this part, text tool. Do you see your toolbar? This is the text tool here, or the type tool. You come type tool, you choose type tool, or the horizontal type tool. You come here, you right click, then you leave at that point. Okay, so what to do next? You have already make it yourself. Remember the structure of you getting yourself. If you want to create this type of design, then you must have your own inspiration. Then what I will do, I will come here and able to add my heading. Do you know that when you are creating a red card, nothing is like, there are not so many things. If like I'm creating a red card for my graphic design services, then when it comes to my graphic design services, I must be able to know that there are at least three. I must include three rows or column, 3 rows. Then with the first row, which will include the description, the second row, which will the first one, which will include the service that I'm offering, the second row will include the service, the description, then the third row I will include the price. Okay, so that is how you're able to create yourself. But at this point, I'll be able to include the heading title of that brand. Let me say, what should I write here as the heading? Let's say Fanaka. You type Fanaka graphics. Fanaka graphics. When it comes to that, you highlight. You come and text your text tool. You highlight this point. You come here, you highlight. Then you come to at this on your right side, on your right tab. We want to make sure that our font really appears. So what we do when you want to make our font to be bold or to be big, you come at this character. As you can see, it has written for you character. So what you do, you come and change the font. You may change your font. You may say railway. Let's really don't know if I have railway. Okay, I have railway. Or let me try. I like to use Poppins. Let me use these Poppins. Let me say leave it pick Poppins. So as you can see, we have been able to change the font. Then we want to make sure that our design really appears very well. So what we will do next, we want to add. And how do we add? We add like that. We add like that. We add. Evo. Okay? Are you, ladies and gentlemen, are you grasping a concept? The way we are going, are you really grasping a concept? Fanaka graphics. Yes. As you can see how it has really appeared. Fanaka graphics, like that. Higher. Up to that point, when we are done with that part, we come to text tool. What do we do when it comes to text tool? Okay, let me reduce this size part here. I leave at that point. Okay, so we want to know it can look like a poster, so we must include what is this. And when we want to include what is this, then we have to get ourselves in consideration that let us include something. Let us write something like I've already, so let me come up again. After this, I've been able to customize my heading with the heading of my brand. So what I'll do next, I'll come to text. After text, I come at this point, I drag like this. We want to make sure that this is a red card. After that, I say red card. Do you see like that? Then we want to reduce. Let us reduce up to that point. So what we will do at this red card, we want to reduce the opacity of this. And since it is black, let's try to reduce it to something that it is semi-bold or medium. Something like, let me leave it at medium. We see. Okay. And then I'll come at this point. At this point, I want to underline my heading. I'll come at this point where there's written character, then there's this part. This is the heading. Like this includes both small letter and capital letter. Then this point it includes the superscript. Then this point it includes the subscript. Then we have you underline, then the strike through. So what I will do, I will underline like that. So as you can see, now we are good to go. I've been able to include my heading here. I've been able to include my red card part over here. So remember, we are offering graphic design services, and this is Fanaka Graphics. And what we will do when it comes to graphic design, you must be able to know that these are services. You must be able to understand the services that are offered. You must ask your client what services does he or she really offers. Then the clients tell you that these are the services that I really offer. So what you do, you must be a bit creative when it comes to this point. You must come up with a template from scratch using Adobe Illustrator, which is a startup tool when it comes to creating something like this. So what you'll do next, you'll take your rectangle tool, okay? Rectangle tool. Then we want to create something, and before that, we want us to change our color here, because it will get to confuse us when we don't change our color. We don't change our color at this first rate, okay? So what you'll do, you get yourself outside the box first. I have not highlighted anything. You see, when I have highlighted something, then I give it like this, then it will bring a lot of confusion when it comes to creating my final design. So what I will do, I will make sure that I don't highlight anything. My mouse cursor, it is at the outside my working area. So after that, I come, I change, I can say even white. Up to that point, now my background color is white. I come and pick my rectangle tool. As you can see, my rectangle tool. I want you to able to understand the concept. I'm coming with it slowly by slowly. So what I will do, I will press shift on my PC, because I want something that, but not really mandatory. Let's not use shift at the moment. Shift it is mostly used when it comes to circular shapes or something of the sort. So what you'll do, because shift brings a lot of that clarity, to bring something that you want to create it in a more unique and more advanced manner. Okay, so we want to continue, and what we'll do next is simple. We come here, you drag like something like that, okay? Then you drag it down a bit. That is the part 1. Then part 2, you pick it. We want to duplicate this, like we want to bring as many features as possible. So what we'll do, if we want to duplicate this part, what we'll do, you press Alt on your keyboard, you drag. You see what I will be able to drag? I drag like that. You press another one, Alt. You press Alt on your keyboard with holding mouse. When you are holding your mouse, you are left clicking your mouse. Whenever you hold Alt, you left click your mouse up to that point. Sorry. Alt, left click up to that. So you will be shocked on how you have been able to come up with this. I'm sure you're grasping a concept when it comes to that. So you will bring it down. You'll bring it down like that. We want to make sure that we include our headings so as we proceed in a well accorded manner. We forgot to add our heading, and what we will do, we will get yourself a type tool. This is a type tool, as you can able to see, or if you don't see, you may press T on your keyboard, T. Then it gives you the option of you using the horizontal type tool. Okay, so what I will do, after pressing T on my keyboard, I come up to that point. So what I really want to do, first I will reduce my font size. The font size is too big. So this type of font size, it will it will bring a lot of confusion when I am working on my project. So what I do at first, I usually reduce the font size. And when I'm reducing the font size, I've been able to reduce the font size to around 42 pixel, 42 points or pixel. I've been able to come up with something. When I'm able to write service, when I write service here, service, I'm sure you're able to see it very well. Service, service, very good one. Then that is service. So what we'll do, let us include something, let us increase around 60. 60 really not bad. Then let's get ourselves on maybe we can leave it at semi-bold. Okay, so that is for service. And we want to proceed step by step. You know that when it comes to you designing this, you must be a bit creative. Okay, a bit of creative. So you must be able to, because of the service, you'll be able to understand how this type of design will be able to come up at the very end. Okay, so what we'll do, you will come, you press Alt, you duplicate, you duplicate, you duplicate like that, you duplicate, you place Alt again, you duplicate. Okay, now we are good to go. We have been able to duplicate each one of them. So what we'll do, you come, you press T on your keyboard, you highlight, you come and highlight, you come and highlight like that. After that is service. Then we come to this point where we service, we say details or description. Let me say details. Okay, now we are good to go. Then I get myself to the third part and I said price of every project. Okay, then we reduce so as it can really match very well. Price at that very end, details at our middle part, services at that point. Okay, so that is how we have been able to come up with such a design. Okay, we proceed else. Then we must understand that this type of design, it is too thick. It is too thick. So we want to reduce it. You press you may press it or you may leave it. Let me just do it organically. What I will do, I will left click on my mouse. You highlight, you left click. You want to reduce the size of this. We reduce at that point. We reduce at that point. Okay, something like that. So what we'll be able to do, after we have been able to get something like this, we want to create as many as possible. So what we'll do, you come, you Alt, you want to create as many duplicates as possible. Okay, so you highlight. After you have highlighted, let me try to find a simple way, another option. Okay, I really think that I've forgotten it. Okay, so you press Alt. When you press Alt, you left click on your mouse. Remember, you are holding them simultaneously. You press left, you press Alt key on your keyboard, then you press left key on your mouse. Okay, after that you drag, you give it another version, you drag using the same continuous state, you drag. Want to create as many containers as possible. Allow me to call it containers, 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 containers again. Why am I having problem duplicating the last one? Okay, I'm sure you're able to understand how I've been able to come up with this. As you can see at this point, you can able to tell that this type of design is very sleek. It is very sleek, very good, and I really recommend it when it comes to you creating your design. You may consider this type of design because it really works well. Okay, this is my from my own thought of inspiration. So this is for the services part. We want to create another one. Like we want to create ourselves our own template. So we will proceed again. What we will do, like how will we proceed? Okay. We want to create another one. This one. You come. You press Alt key on your keyboard. Alt key. You come. Add yes, at to that point we are trying to duplicate, and when you are duplicating these things, try to make sure that it aligns with each other. The spacing from the above to the front, it is like something that is really, you can tell that it is so uniform. We don't want to create something like this. You see that this is totally wrong. We want to create something that it really aligns well. It is something that it works well in accordance. Okay, so we want to create as many duplicates as possible. Make sure that you are working on your design. The Illustrator gives you that flexibility. That is why I love Adobe Illustrator, because it gives you a lot of flexibility compared to Photoshop. It gives you a lot of, as you can see, you can able to get yourself, you can write something here. As you can see, something way sort of like it brings that flexibility when it comes to your design. Okay, yeah, that is the good side of using Adobe Illustrator over other software that I've been able to use up to now. Okay, now let's proceed. I want to create as many duplicate as possible. So what do we do next? I've been able to come up with this point. What I able to come up next, I press Alt again. I press Alt, then Alt, left key of my mouse, left button, I drop. Alt, sorry, I've been able to highlight all of them, and then let me come up again. Sorry, you press you highlight once, you press Alt key, you duplicate. As you can see the way I'm duplicating. The good side of using Adobe Illustrator, personal recommendation, I really like the software. One of the best I've been able to work in my graphic design field. Okay, master it to the end level of Adobe Illustrator. So make sure that your design are uniform. We don't want to get yourself to something that it is not uniform. It is something that is look homogeneous. We want to create something that whenever you present to your client, then your client can feel that you are a professional service provider, not a dummy service provider. Okay, this is the, so we have been able to reach at that point. So what we'll do, I've been able to highlight this point, all of them. So what we'll do, I want to duplicate the other end. We want to duplicate it, and what we'll be able to do, I come, I press my price, I press Alt like that, Alt like that. I'm duplicating my designs. I'm duplicating my design. Don't know why it really it misbehave at that point. I really don't know. Okay, if it misbehave, you may press Ctrl Z so as it brings back the that action that you feel like it is not that worthy. Okay, Alt, yes, yes. Why am I having problem? Let me come up to that point. I press Alt. Okay, we are good to go. I've been able to duplicate this, so you have to make sure that it really, like, your design really matches very well. Okay. Okay, now we are good to go. As you can see, now I've been working on something here, and now I can say that things are working very nice, very nice. My red card service details, everything is really good. So what do you do next when it comes to this part? Then we want to include our services. When you are a graphic designer, what are your main area of services? You may get yourself doing logo design. You may get yourself doing what else? You may get yourself doing brand identity design, brand identity design. You may get yourself doing what else? Company profile. Okay. You may get yourself doing what else? Menu cards. You may get yourself doing what else? You may get yourself doing flyers and what else? Flyers and posters. Then what else are you, if you're a graphic designer, you'll be able to do? You'll find yourself doing what else? Mockups. What else will you finding yourself doing? Flyers, posters. What else? What else? If you are a graphic designer, what else do you get yourself doing? Okay, let's say YouTube thumbnail, or let me say bronchua, yeah, something like that. These are the services provided by graphic designers. So what you do, these are the services that are being offered by the graphic designers. So what will you be able to do? This piece, so let me reduce that part that it has been aligned. Okay, we want to directly bring this vision to, like, we want to get ourselves, then we control Z. So what I'll do, let me try to copy logo design, control C, then I come here, you paste, but it is having a problem. Let me just go organically. You come get your text tool or letter T, which is the type tool, then you press it. You say, why am I having problem when it comes to this? It really disappears. Why? Let's get it a moment. Let me try it again. Logo design. Okay, it has been finally accepted. It has finally accepted to respond really well. So we have done with logo design. We want to create another one, brand. Let me say mockups. Mockup. Then let me say another one. Menu cards. Let me include another one here. brochure. Let me include another one here. Flyers and posters. We need to get ourselves to resize this one, so you can see it will force us to really resize. It will force us to resize our design. It will really force us to design. Yeah, and we cannot design really one, so we must get ourselves, we design all of them. The good side of you using Adobe Illustrator is that it is free, it is easy. As you can see, I'm using this is an eyedropper tool. It has helped me when it comes to when you edit something, it gives you that full control. As you can see, yes, something like that. Then I've been able to work on that. Then I'll be able to get myself something like this, something like this, something like that. Okay, so what I will be able to do, I come to write it brand identity, brand identity. Then what else? So this really I didn't want. I wanted to leave some extra, some that is padding. I wanted it to leave some extra spaces. So what else have I missed here? 3 5 what? 3 6. So there's someone here. Let me say even book cover. Book cover is even designed by a graphic designer. Let me highlight it up to that point. Now we are good to go, my people, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure you will be able to come up with something like this. Then let's get out of to our details. We may write it at this far end. We may say, when it comes to details, you want to include your details of your design. So how do you include your details of your design? Let me say you are representing to a client logo design. What do you want your client to be? You may say true concept let me expand it a bit of it. There's something I want to achieve when it comes to that. So we may say, sorry, two concept, then you may say one revision. Why am I saying one revision? You may get yourself one revision. Yes. So at this point, what do you do at this point? This is what it explains, that when it comes to logo design, or maybe flyer design, you will produce two types of logo design or two types of flyers of your design. Then if the client is not satisfied, you only provide one type of revision. Okay, one type of revision. You must protect your energy as a graphic designer. So how do you do like that? You duplicate. Let me try to duplicate, because I will be using it for all my design, okay, for everything. Then I want to make sure that my design, all the font that I'm using, it really match with the one that I have been really using over here. Okay, so I did a mistake when I duplicated without making sure that all of them are of the same font, but no worries, no worries, no worries. Okay, okay, after this you drop at that point. You will see that it is at some point it will disappoint you. It is so you must reduce, my friend, until it really fits. Okay, so what we'll do, we want to make sure that all this design, all this type of design usually have the same type of fonts, same type of So what we'll do, I don't want to just let me delete this, delete. Then what I'll do here, I'll duplicate more versions of this. Okay, so I'll come, drag it over there. I'll come, drag it over there. I'll come, drag it over there. I will come, drag it over there. Then I want to bring two versions here. Drag it over there, drag it over there. Okay, now we are good to go. Make sure that you align them in a manner that it is really good. Okay, yes, something like that. How do you rate it? Yeah, so this is it. You have been able to focus on the service, you have been able to work on details, you have been able to work on, so we want to get yourself to work on price. Okay, so when it comes to price, we may say that what we may do at this point, we want to add our price, and we want to make sure that our prices, let me try to get something over here. Let me see, what is that? Okay, you may get something like that. So let's say logo design, let's say 20 USD dollars. Okay, let me say 40, something like that, 40. Then make sure you reduce it, you reduce. Okay, then you bring it like that, something really nice. Okay, that is how many font, 52. I don't want to reach 52. Let me leave it at that point. So we want to create another one, mockup. Mockup, we may say, how much do you want our mockup to be? We may say $20, something like that. You come, you drop it, then you come, you take your text tool, menu cards, then we don't want something less than 20, nothing less than 20. Then we come at this point, we say nothing less than $25. Something, then what else? Want to create ourselves something, let's say flyers and posters, nothing less than $20. You reduce it, you make it as that point. Then we want to create brand identity. Brand identity, you may say $60. You see the concept I'm using, simple concept. Then you come, you right click there, you press shift, you press number 4, that is a sign of that dollar. Then what you do next, you include your money. You may say book cover, you may say $30. then we want to reduce its size up to that point. Yeah, something like that. This is how you get yourself in such a point. Okay, after that, now we have been able to work on service, details, price, everything. So we want to get ourselves in adding, what else? What do you want us to add? We want to add contact information over here. Say, you may say, contact us for more info. Okay, then you may try to or even you may know considering of that. Okay, so contact us for more info, for more information. Then you may add your number here, down here. Okay, so we may say shift plus, we want to make sure that I'll add shift plus 254 7 98 812 860, something like that. You have been able to add your contact details. Simple as that. No more vague information about that. Let me try a bit version of it if I can able to make it. Let me try if I can make it white. Okay, as you can see, nothing much, no vague things about that. Simple as that. So you may consider that one. So this is the final project. After that, you feel file, save as Adobe Illustrator, my rate card for, or my rate card for graphic. Then you save your work as an AI file. After that you save. Okay, after that you come file, save as, it is already being saved. Okay, so this is how you get yourself the final details. Simple as that. No more misinterpretation when it comes to that. Okay, yeah, that's how I like it. So you may consider that. File, save as. After that, it is already saved. You may export it. You may export it as JPEG for image, then export. For RGB, you may say here 300 ppi. Okay, then you are good to go. So that is how things are. So consider that. Thank you and follow for more. You may, if you are a new student, if you are a new learner and you have been able to interact with me, consider to give me a like. You may subscribe, you may comment. So your honest admission. Okay, thank you and follow for more.